Hello everyone, uh, Faisal here. I have a bunch of games to cast. We'll go one by one. All games were played by Shujat. Three of them are ranked games, and two of them are 1v1s against Fussy. Of course, we'll do multiple videos. We'll do like 5 videos, but for this video, we'll go with one of the ranked games that looks really interesting between Goths and Lithuanians. SS playing as Goths, IV-27 playing as Lithuanians. Let's get right into it now. We have capture H on the other end, so we'll switch over to that once the game starts. Here we go. Capture 8, waiting for interface. Here we go. Game has begun. This is a game on Arabia. SS is playing in blue, and IV-27 playing in orange. Where's SS? Oh, they're really close to each other. Okay, so this time around looks like that, you know, they're not exact opposites, because I was looking here for SSTC, but he's here. Okay, so this is Goths versus Lithuanians. Very, very interesting matchup. Clearly, Lithuanians is a cavalry civ, and they get the relic bonus, of course. If you capture the relics, you get +1 attacks for your knights or your Lightus as well, I believe. And for Goths, of course, this is an infantry civ, and technically it should be able to counter Lithuanians with the halbs and even crossbows, I guess, if you want to surprise opponent. However, all depends on the game speed, on how well both players play, and how the game turns out to be overall. So let's look at the maps for both players. Let's go with IV-27 first, and let's see what IV's map looks like. The main gold is on the front, stone is in the front, one of the neutral golds on the side, back stone and back gold as well. Pretty volatile map, I would say. Yeah, pretty volatile map with between the tree lines here, even to the stone, to the gold, and here. But this hill on the top here, right in front of the gold, is very dangerous. So, as Lithuanians, I guess maybe we should be looking at fast castle into knights. 4 on wood, 6 on sheep. Let's look at the SS map. Here we got pretty weird, or the sources actually. The gold is kind of on the side, but also in the front, so pretty exposed there for the gold. For the So the gold is up front for SS, the bear is in the back, and these two golds, they are sort of secure if you can wall off here. But then again, it's Goths, and you don't have stone walls, so you have to go with the palisade walls, which are not too strong. I think the main game here for both players would be too aggressive, I guess. Lithuanians has to be aggressive with knights, fast castle knights, and similarly Goths have to go fast castle into maybe helps and champions maybe, or even Huskrils if the Lithuanian players changes tactics and goes crossbow for some reason. So all depends how both players approach the map, approach the game. Shujat is on the wood with 7 villagers right now. He needs to because he's walling up, so he's using up a lot of wood. And 8 villagers on boar and sheep. Now he's going to the berries. The Lithuanian player is 8 on wood as well, now going for the 9. 7 on boar. This is a fast castle build, I believe. 4 on berries. He's not walling much. Doesn't seem to be in a hurry to wall up. If you're doing a fast castle build, I think you should wall up, because you could get caught up in feudal with a rush, but I'm guessing maybe he saw that SS was walling as well. This villager is looking for something here, maybe to start a wall, an ideal location to wall. Or maybe just scouting a bit to see where to wall. Right there, okay. As SS can see, his gold is... 2 of his golds are here, so he needs to wall up this area. In terms of the Lithuanian player, that's a weird place to mill. Okay, he's going for this ostrich, I believe. Yeah, he's going for the ostrich. For that extra food income to make knights. Barracks coming up now from Lithuanians, as he's 50 to 60% into feudal. Barracks are up. The fast castle build, I think you should get maybe 1 or 2 dark age farms. It helps a lot in going up quicker, as SS has done here. 3 dark age farms. 3 dark age farms would be give a nice boost to you for your castle-ish timing. But he's low on gold. He's sending 2 villagers now to gold. The idle TC time for IV is much lower. SS is much higher. Idle eco time as well for SS is much higher, because maybe because of that walling. It was pretty high. But then again, when you're walling, you're really not idling, but that's a high idling time. What about the rest of the map? A lot of hilly area here. There's a relic here. Let's look at the relic positions actually for Lithuanians. He'll be contesting the relics a lot for his attacks. So he has 1 in the back, which is good, and 1 right here. So 2 right off the bat he should be easily able to take. 1 relic is next to SS base. He could probably deny that. This one he could probably deny. This one, I think the scout is here for that reason, maybe. To keep that relic safe, maybe. But I think Ivy will be faster to Castle Age, I believe. Unless he's going into scouts. Is he going into scouts? Stables coming up. Second, 2 stables coming up. So 2 stables there, but no blacksmith. No blacksmiths from Ivy. SS house walling behind his palisade walls. Taking a lot away from SS Eco, I believe, to wall up because he doesn't have stone walls. He likes to stone wall up to keep his eco safe and then go outside to attack. But in this case he doesn't have those, so he needs to house wall behind. But it takes away from the villagers' working time. So SS sees the stables as his scout passes by. This gold is in a really bad spot. I think I would have gone here and walled off here if I was Ivy to be able to take a safe gold and leave this for later as we push out with knights. So here come the scouts from Ivy, as expected. He delayed his castle time, I guess. SS saw the scouts and he will probably pop out some spears as he delays the palisade wall in front of his barracks. The scouts can't get in. He's already walled up. It'll be very tough for the scouts to get in anywhere. I think he should stop investing in scouts. He's still creating scouts. Yeah, I think he should stop making scouts now because he's walled up. SS is walled up. These scouts are useless. He will harass with those scouts the walls, but SS can easily defend that. Let's look at the reaction. SS doesn't do anything but sends 3 pikes. Those scouts will run away. There you go, that's it. I think he needs maybe 1 more pike. I think SS needs 1 more pike. But those scouts, like I said, that's... How many scouts are that? That's 6 scouts right there. Which is almost 480 food. Each scout is 80 food, so that was his castle age uptime right there. And now he can't go up because of his investment into scouts. He might get in here though. If SS is not quick to wall this off, he might get in. If it gets in, it'll be house is coming up now. As the scouts move away, he loses 1 scout, so he's down to 5 now. Plus his auto scout, I guess, his initial scout cavalry. So you see SS has clicked up to Castle Edge and IV-27 failed the scout rush and couldn't really get up in time. Yeah, a lot of value on the scouts. A lot of economy, a lot of food spent on those scouts which are just patrolling the map now and not able to do anything. Yes, it gives him some map control. Maybe once SS goes into Castle Age, and if he wants to contest the relics, he won't be able to. So Ivy can use these scouts to keep the relics safe and collect it for himself. That is one of the possibilities. I mean, Ivy can simply sell a bit of gold here and buy himself to Castle Age quicker, but he doesn't have a market. That's it. He's gonna attack the houses, but SS can simply put another house here. Puts another barrack there. Might as well, because you will need the barracks for Goths. So Ivy had a good start, but I think invested way too much in Feudal Age. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. This is Arabia. If you wanna go scouts, you better be very, very quick with them before the opponent walls. Once the opponent walls up, it gets very, very tough for you to get in. So once SS is in Castle Age, he's low on, he's floating a lot of wood, so he should be making a lot of farms, I would say. He should be making a lot of farms here to be able to make a lot of long swordsmen. Maybe even helps. Or pikemen rather. Yeah, he needs a lot of farms. He's just collecting wood at the moment. So the real power spike for Goths would come in Castle Age, I would say, when they have the cheaper infantry with you can include pikemen and go after the Lithuanian player in this early Castle Age, because the Lithuanian player invested so much in scouts. So Ivy should be in Castle Age soon. He has enough resources to create a lot of knights and drop a castle. Look at those resources. He can make a lot of knights and drop a castle on SS while he collects his relics with a couple monks. So all is not lost for Ivy. That's a good farming eco. SS may be a bit distracted from these scouts. They should be focusing more on spending that wood into making farms, I believe. SS has enough for a castle now from his stone. He's not making a second TC, he's gonna stay on one TC I think and go all in Castle Age. That's what I feel. But he should be making more and more farms, use of that wood. Maybe one more barrack and the rest just put them on, just spend it on food. Here comes the knights. Is there a monastery from the Lithuanian player yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Should be going for a monastery. 3 pikemen just standing there, chilling. They're gonna fight the knights here. All 3 go out. One knight weakens up a bit, but that's about it. That is some knights coming SS way now. SS is trying to defend and build up an economy here. Right there, yeah. 24 on to food. That was what I was talking about. Like spend that wood straight away when you go into Castle Age, so you can have the food behind your pikes and two-handed swordmen if you need that. For now, I don't think you need that. So there comes the castle drop from Ivy, which I was talking about. It could get denied. A lot of pikes coming out for SS from here. A defensive castle coming for SS, which is understandable. I think that is the right move. Make a defensive castle and protect your eco against the knights. Quick walls coming up from SS. SS just needs to buy a bit more time to mess up his pikes and go fight these knights. Maybe the castle was a better idea here, near the walls and protecting the gold, I think. But he can range this gold maybe with this castle, so here he's pretty safe because of the house walls, I guess. But here comes the castle drop, which is not going to really achieve much, but it's just in front of SS's base. But SS's golds are here, stone is here, his other gold is there. So this castle really not achieving much other than, you know, killing some houses and maybe a barrack. I don't think SS sees that. Did he see that? Actually, he did see that. He saw his pikes were walking by. He saw that. I think that's a hole right there where this villager is. So it may not be completely closed up. I think SS should be able to get through here because from the looks of it, there is a hole. Is that not a hole? I can't tell. So SS just walks past that. He doesn't really care about that castle. That's what it looks like, because that castle is not going to achieve much.
Hey, sir.
Here come the swordsmen. Now upgraded to two long swordsmen. And I think SS is just going to go counter-attack. He's not going to wait for killing these knights. These knights are not really going to achieve much. He's fully house-walled here. So let's see who kills who first. And I think from this mass, SS should go straight into Ivy's eco maybe and take out a couple TCs. I think the SS would have done this much quicker if he went for the extra farms when he had 1,000 wood floating. He went a bit late on that. I think that's one thing that I noticed. He should go a bit quicker when he has so much wood. Just pull all the villagers from the wood and make farms, because that's what you will need in the early castle age to finish the game. Here come the knights. They should break in now. There's no reaction from SS at this point. On the other hand, SS has sent his army into the eco of Ivy. So Ivy has to defend, or does he continue his push here? I mean, SS has a couple pikes here, and he has defensive castle, so he's not all that bad. But since Ivy put his castle up front, he's really exposed at home. SS can harass this wood line here. He can also go right into the main eco. Keep on harassing Ivy. There come the knights, there come the pikemen. Straight into the pikemen. All the knights die. The rush is just, crushed pretty much. There's nothing to be done here. Here comes some more knights. Those knights are taken care of. SS garrisons. Pikes come out to counter these knights. Lithuanian player has to run. He's pumping out knights. A lot of knights are being pumped out here by the Lithuanian player. No monastery, I think. Yeah, no monastery from the Lithuanian player yet. I don't know why he's not going for the relics. He would easily gain more attack on his knights. He could probably fight these pikes if he gets those relics. Even two of them will give him +2 attack on these knights. And here comes the Goths spam with the cheap infantry. SS is just gonna pump out all these swordsmen and start taking out the Lithuanian TCs as Ivy's knights sit in his castle for some reason. There's no reason for that. He should be here fighting this army, saving his eco with his knights. But he's not doing that. Villagers are idle here. Ivy's idle eco time is just shooting through the roof here. His idle TC time is also. Oh man, these villagers are gonna get caught. That's it. All these villagers will die. That is so brutal. Wow. Here come the knights, a little too late. Major damage has been done by taking down a TC, and I mean Ivy is counter-attacking, but this counter-attack is not as strong as what SS is doing in his base. SS has cheaper infantry. He can create a lot more units than Ivy can, even though Ivy is harassing here, but SS can just defend with the pikes. And SS has these two goals here, which he can easily take. Defensive castle was a good move, and SS hits Imperial. Ivy is still in castle age, about to lose his second TC. It's just a massacre. That's it, calls a GG. There's nothing you can do about that. Very well played by SS on this map. I think Ivy made some crucial mistakes, but SS capitalized on that. Ivy had a good chance to recover from making those scouts by uh, gaining. He didn't gain the advantage of the relics. I think he should have done that. Did he take any relics? Oh, he didn't have any relics. He didn't have any relics. And SS had to buy time and counterattack with his swordsman. He defended with pikes. Lithuanians, you know that they're gonna do a scout rush and or go fast castle knights. I think fast castle knights was a better idea for Lithuanians. You can't fight um, uh, Goths in feudal age either because the spears are cheaper. So like SS made 3 spears and countered like 6 or 8 uh, um, scouts and walled up also. And the Lithuanian player Ivy knew that SS was walled when he scouted. He knew that. So for him to go and make he or she, I can't tell. Ivy is a weird name. I don't know if it's a feminine or a male name, so I'll just call it Ivy. So Ivy knew that the walls were up for SS, and to invest that much in scouts, I think was a mistake in feudal age. Should have gone fast castle into knights and not wasted any energy and eco on the scouts. Would have been much faster in castle age. SS would have been behind in castle age if Ivy went for that strat. SS as Goths had to buy time to get to castle age to get the power spike of the Goths. I think that was the key here. Look at the will count. 57 to 48. Ivy had better will count even after the raids from SS. And SS had 48 wills versus Ivy. And Ivy couldn't defend. That's because Ivy didn't wall up. I always say that once you have an opponent who's walled up, you should wall up as a counter. I think Lithuanians in early castle age can win this fight, but they have to go fast castle into knights with collecting a couple of relics and full upgrades into castle age. Then you can fight the swordsmen. Then you can fight the pikes also. But you had 10+2 on knights here, but only if you collected 2 more relics. Your knight had a 14 attack, which is a base attack for a paladin. A paladin has a base attack of 14, and then you get the upgrades like +4, you know. So these knights with collecting 2 relics, which were right behind in his base, Ivy could have changed the situation here. So Lithuanians, I think, can play very well against Goths, but you have to play them right. You have to play into the strengths. As for Goths, you give them time. You don't break into their eco. They hit castle age, then you're in for a ride against the cheaper infantry because you will be harassed. You'll be harassed, and I'm surprised that Ivy didn't make any siege because Ivy knows that Goths will play infantry. Siege is a very good counter to infantry, especially if you're behind in castle age. Maybe stonewall a bit and put a couple of mangonels behind the walls and protect yourself in that manner. But I was looking to go for an assault. But in order to play the way Ivy played, what I'm trying to say is what Ivy was playing was pretty much to go with a castle age, all in castle age knights, right? When you're playing that, you don't waste almost 500 food on scouts in feudal age. That's just nonsense. You just don't do that. You saw the walls, you don't make scouts. You ignore that part, you just wall up and boom. And once you hit castle age before the Goths player, you can go into knights with the relics and you can fight the huskarls, the champions, even the pikes, I would say, with that kind of an attack. Nevertheless, very well played by SS. He capitalized on the mistakes that Ivy made. He countered them very well, and once he took out the two TCs, it's pretty much done. But I'm just surprised that Ivy has 57 villagers versus 48 for SS, even after this whole assault from SS. Very well played, interesting game. Thank you for watching, guys.